Alright, what's going on, guys? Out here on the trap line, it's about -7 here in beautiful Nebraska, and I conducted an experiment last night. Basically have had well below freezing temperatures for like the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. And so I set some traps last night, the good old-fashioned peat moss style that I do, like, you know, for early season and stuff like that. Well, that's usually not what you would want to do when you're trapping in frozen stuff, especially with the freeze-thaw cycle, because your traps are going to freeze to the ground. But I had a bit of a theory, and my theory is that if it's really cold out and there's no freeze-thaw cycle, and that the ground is very cold and, you know, basically frosted all the way down to the bottom, that could you still use peat moss or just regular dry dirt to make that happen instead of using a freeze-proof set. So anyway, I've got one set up here, and we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna see if this thing works. So these have been sitting in the ground just a day. There's been no freeze-thaw cycle. Grab a trap stake here. This powder. Here's the hole. Pan should be somewhere right in here. So I'm just going to use a very small amount of tension. Boom! Look at that. That puppy's not froze at all. That was perfect. So I'm sure I could probably do that with a lot of other traps. I wouldn't have showed this to you if I hadn't tested it out really before, or if I have heard that it works. So there it is, folks. You don't have to freeze set your traps if it's extremely cold outside. And where I got this idea from is Alaska. Alaskan trappers don't really freeze-proof their sets very much. And if you're from Alaska and you do freeze-proof your sets, then I guess I've been watching it all wrong. But see, a lot of those guys, it gets so cold there that they just dig a hole, put their trap in there, and cover it in frozen snow, and they'll catch stuff that way. So and I'm sure that's not always the case, but yeah. So anyway, it was kind of cool to experiment with that. It was cool to see that the peat moss still works, though it's super cold. But like I said, if it starts to warm up, this is gonna just get nasty, and they're just gonna freeze up. So it only works if it's extremely cold, which I think it's gonna be for a while. So yeah, well, nothing on the line here this morning. Don't have a whole lot of traps out. Been real busy with the holidays, so hopefully we'll get something in the next few days. That's a wrap.